If you're the type of golfer that's been struggling to break 90, my hope is that this video is going to give you 5 easy tips to help get you over that barrier. And you don't even have to do anything wild and crazy like watch 1,000 different YouTube tricks about changing your swing. Try to keep the swing you've got. See if you can just implement these 5 things to break 90 for the first time or more consistently in 2025. Okay, so to put this to the test, I am going to be playing a course that I have never played before. This is on TrackMan technology, and I am playing at Whistler Golf Club in BC. The first tip I would like you to keep in mind is take a look at the scorecard. So if we look here, the first thing I'm going to notice is this is a par 72. That means if you want to shoot 90, you have to bogey every single hole. Every hole is designed to be a par. If you can play it as designed, but give yourself 1 extra stroke every hole, that should be a wonderful way to get so close to 90 that maybe you accidentally fall into a par, and voila, you've broken the score you want to. So with this first hole, it is a par 4. I can see that there's water about 250 yards up, but well off to the left. I don't want to spray one left. The second tip you need to keep in mind is off the tee, make sure you are in play. Use a club that you feel confident you can hit with some good distance, but you have control over. So I'm going to dial way back to a 6-iron here. I'm going to try and put myself about 180 to 190 yards out into the fairway. If it misses a little bit left into the rough, that's okay with me, because then that's going to give me about 170 yards or so towards the hole. So there we go, nice strike, beautiful little draw. Ended up coming right to the right side of the fairway. That was a stress-free opening tee shot. I wasn't worried about losing that ball at all. And this wasn't really one of the tips I had designed, but as a bonus, you should certainly know the yardages for your clubs. Golf is hard enough as it is, and if you don't know how far you hit a club, it's even harder. So I know this 7-iron goes about 175 if I hit it well, which means I should be somewhere around the green. So even if I sprayed that a little bit left, it's going to be up there. It held on. And although I didn't hit that as clean as I would have liked, I'm not bothered because this is a bogey hole. Every hole is a bogey hole when you're just trying to break 90. So I'm only about 32 yards to the pin here, but I can see down in the bottom right corner there's lots of green to work with. So the next important tip to remember is you're just trying to get anywhere on the green when you're close to the green. This is now my 3rd shot, which means I have to get on the green and then just try and give myself a stress-free 2-putt for a bogey. So it's only 30 yards. I can't really see what's going on here, but hopefully that works out well. That hit really nice, better than expected. What a great release. And that's in my gimme range. So I'm playing for a bogey here, and I just had a great chip, and now I have a par. Thank you, new Tacoma wedges. Mwah. Now hole 2 is very similar to the previous hole that was just played. Let's just bring this 6-iron back out. That was a really good opening swing with it. Try and do that again, play for a bogey, and see what happens. All right, so I may have needed a little bit extra distance there. I didn't think I was aiming that far off to the left. So with it being 250 yards to the green, I'm not going to get there, but I'm going to use my 5-wood. And I'm just trying to put a nice smooth swing on this one so it gets up as far as possible and gives me a decent short range into the green, because again, I'm trying to get on in 3 and 2-putt for the bogey. That felt very clean. It's going to be behind the pin, but a very good shot. It even got some spin. It was starting to come back a little bit. And that's a wonderful shot. I should easily be able to make a 2-putt from there or better. I do find sometimes putting indoors tricky, and I'm not really used to putting with TrackMan technology, so I'll do my best to get the weight right here. Started a little bit left, stop in that range. Very nice. I've got gimmies set at 4 feet. That's the closest I'm allowed to get it. So that was only 2 feet away. Nice, easy bogey. So this is the first par 5 that we are dealing with here, which means I'm going to actually try and use driver on this one. I'm not trying to give it any extra power than I can. I'm actually just trying to choke down a little bit, give it a nice smooth swing. And my hope here is that I can play a little cut towards the corner, because if I can get it close enough to 250 yards, that gives me a much straighter path into the next section of fairway. If I can hit a little fade, this should be very nice. That's a really good spot there. Oh, if it passes that tree. Oh, I got fortunate past a tree, but very unfortunate. It looks like I'm behind another tree, which means I'm going to have to try and push way off to the side here. I'm just trying to get it kind of in that corner. I'll try and create a little bit of a hood on this iron. Nice and low, out underneath the tree, into the fairway, and let's just deal with it from there. I'm going to try and leave this short of the green, so I have that trusty 6-iron back in hand. I left that a little bit wide. Hold, hold. Thankfully, I used a conservative approach there because leaving that club face wide open was not ideal. But as amateur golfers, that's what we're going to do. And this is why these strategies are the key to breaking 90, because I'm not hitting incredibly good shots here. And hopefully this is giving you some confidence that even if you don't have the nicest swing or the greatest ball control, you can still play in this style and lead yourself to success. This is a good time to mention my fourth tip. No 3-putts. But if you happen to 3-putt, don't beat yourself up. Cap it to 1 or 2 max. Hole 4 is a par 4. I'm going to bring the driver back out because I was actually very happy with the last driver swing I had. The result just wasn't great, but with a nice smooth one here, it looks like there's a little bit more open territory up there, so I feel confident to keep this in play. Even if keeping it in play is slightly off to the other hole. So even though that was not a great strike, I only hit it because I knew there was room to miss. Now there's 73 yards to the pin. 60 degree out of the rough. We're in that range where you're close enough. Just get on the green. Anywhere. Okay, there we go. Hit and roll on. Setting up a chance to try and 2-putt. Move and then stop. That was a very good pace. Great putt. There's the 2-putt, and there's a par. So that's 2 pars already that we've made in 5 holes just by playing conservative and being okay with bogeys. And we are only a couple of holes deep into this video, but it is now time for my 5th and final tip, clubbing up and swinging a little bit easier. So with this, it's going to be my 5-wood. I'm just going to try and hit a nice smooth one. And after this, I'm just going to play through the holes, let you see how it works, try to talk a little bit less, just enjoy the scenery. All right, I didn't have to try and give a little extra muscle with that 4-iron. I'm going to end up a little bit short here. Oh, or get incredibly lucky and roll. That's kind of a bonus because now I'm on the green. And if I 3-putt here, it's not the end of the world because I'll still get the bogey that we desire. All right, so this is 58 feet away. It looks like there's a lot of swing action that happens once it's up over that little ridge. There's the ridge. Go down it, go down it, go down it. Back towards the hole. Keep going, keep going, keep going. What a wonderful weight on that putt. That's in the gimme range. That's a lovely par. Anytime I can par a par 3, I'm happy. Anytime I can par a par 3 that's over 200 yards, I'm ecstatic. There we go. Back to the driver in hand. Try and put a nice smooth fade on this one. Oh, it drew a little bit. Past the tree, thankfully. I could muscle up a 9-iron and possibly get on the front of the green in there, but I'm going to tip 5. I'm going to club up. I'm going to swing a little bit easier. There we go. That was clean. Nice, smooth. Just try and dial back the power. Get in the fairway or as close to it as possible. Ah, yeah! Right back to the exact same distance as last time. 161 yards to the pin. So I'll dial back with a nice, smooth 8-iron. Push that left. I could feel that immediately, but that's okay. It just held on in play. Get going, get going, get going, get going, go, 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 go. Oh, just short of the gimme range. There it is. Good hole again. 184 yards would normally be my 6-iron, but because I'm teeing this up, it usually takes just a little bit extra distance off. So I'm going to club up and swing smooth with my 5-iron. Try to get somewhere up there close to the green. Very nice and smooth. Should have plenty to clear that water. Drew a little bit too much, but that's a great spot. Try and chip it close. That seemed pretty good. I put as much spin on it as I could for that position, but once it hits the ridge, it's going to kick down. So that's okay. A good spot to try and putt. Maybe get the par, but at worst, you're going to bogey here. There we go. Keep it nice and close. Take the bogey. Get the heck out of there. We keep this train rolling. Thank you for watching those 9 holes with me, but I'm going to have to stop my video there because playing indoor, renting the bay time, sometimes you realize you're not going to have time to finish an entire round. And unfortunately, that's the case for me. But hopefully what you could see is by playing with that conservative strategy, using those 5 tips in mind, I played that 9 holes at +6. The goal was to play it at +9. If you can replicate that through 2 sets of 9, there you are. You've broken 90. You don't have to change your swing. You can see from my shots, there were a lot of bad ones, but I didn't let it get to me because when you play 4 bogey golf, you have so much less stress than when you're trying to make par or better every single time. So be generous with yourselves. If you're trying to break 90, you can do it. So thank you very much for watching this video. And if you found any value in it at all, I really appreciate if you could click like, maybe consider subscribing. And I hope to see you next time. Best of luck with your game.